how to save money advertising on Amazon. Let's talk campaign creation, ACOS, how to think about it, and how to do it best. As you'll know, I'm all in on bid optimization software. I tried to create my own and realized I'm not a team of developers. That's why after having chosen many solutions, I think Perpetua is the way to go. This time I'm gonna laser in on campaign structure and ACOS. You're gonna see screenshots of others that have crazy low ACOS, but that's not always the entire story. Talking about advertising only through the lens of ACOS, you're kind of missing the whole point. But you should really be thinking about what is advertising accomplishing for you, driving sales and growing your brand. Let's dive into some bad campaign structure and how you can do better than that. Okay, here we are looking at one of our product lines. H&L stands for Harness Lead. I'll get into that in a second. But look at this, 8.69% ACOS. That is pretty damn good. But what if I told you that doesn't really tell me any information of what this is actually doing for me? So right here, this is how most people start off. They start off doing, you got the automatic targeting and manual targeting, and I was using someone else's software to feed into the manual the top performing automatic keywords. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. It's obviously you can see here it's good ACOS, but it doesn't really tell me what's going on. It doesn't tell me where I'm spending my money, whether I'm successful against competitors or not. It's hard for me to shift focus and decide hey, I want to tackle this segment. If I click in to here, you will see on the manual, Harness Lead, the brand, is getting almost all of the sales. And of course, it's got an amazing ACOS of 3%, 2.4%. So that's why this gets such great ACOS, is because it's all branded spend. I don't know that. And it's kind of hard for me in this frame to actually shift. It's kind of impossible. And so you could do everything manually. I'm not going to say you can't do anything manually, but what software can accomplish for you is of note. Now, let's take a look at how the same products for the last 3 months I've been running them on Perpetua. But you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to use Perpetua, but it's just a way to think about it. So we divide our advertising into, your auto and your manual. The auto is really good for finding and harvesting keywords, getting some traction on that. But what you don't want auto to be about is you don't want your branded spend or your competitor spend to get inside of that, because then you don't know what it's accomplishing. So if I look at here at the manual, so here we go, similar ACOS, 11%, but it's divided out in such interesting ways. Perpetua has a way of naming things. It is silly, but having a naming structure means that you and your teammates can go in and see what's going on. And when you come back in 3 weeks, you remember the reason that you created that campaign in the first place and what its goals are. And so naming structure is actually pretty important for organization. So what I was getting at was, I actually have a regular manual and an auto split, but Perpetua comes in here and they split out the manual to exact, broad, and phrase, and they actually shift the spend between them to make sure that you're spending more money on, so here we go, we're spending way more money on where we are getting better ACOS. So you can see already the software is doing more for me, because usually it's easiest to find the most spend in broad match, and it's harder to find spend in exact match, but that's one thing that it accomplishes for you by adjusting bids. These bids are at group level. They actually don't matter at all. It's all at the keyword level. I hit the targets, and as it loads up, you will see something specific. You can see here, Harness Lead is turned off. Harness Lead is the brand of this dog leash. And I go to negative targeting, and I see harness lead is negative phrase, and actually a competitor that I put in called Pet Safe, they are negative targeted. So pretty cool to see that like I did nothing to create this structure, and I can pivot and I can say maybe I don't want to target Pet Safe anymore. All of a sudden I can undo that step without having to jump into keywords. You know, I have like a lot of other specific things to hear from Perpetua. And in fact, like I don't usually come in here anymore. I manage that from Perpetua's dashboard. I'll show you that. I do want to point out like the branded spend, which is 3.14%. You know, that was good then, it's good now. And then the competitor spend, and that is a higher ACOS. That's what it means to be, you know, targeting competitors. So maybe I might have to consider other competitors, or maybe I'm happy with that. 40% ACOS, stealing share, stealing everything. That obviously for a lot of category segments can be worth it. So this is, yep, I wanted to show that. Now here I am. This is my harness lead goal. Perpetua divides it into a goal. This is all one product. It's a variation. I have a bunch of different things, and but here's where I kind of control it all. I can like see metrics very specific to just this type of product. But over here on the right is what I wanted to show, is how you can divide out. Like right now I put a daily budget of $10. I'm going to put a little bit more dollars on branded spend. There's no reason not to. So I update that. I got competitor down here, and I'm willing to target up to 40%. Kind of interesting that you remember I said it was 39%. So they kind of hit it. They hit the budget and spent against the competitor, and I can add competitors here so easily. I know there's a philosophy of how to succeed on Amazon, where you just optimize your product page for conversion first and then target competitors. So this makes it super easy to like jump in and out of competitors and figure out which ones you're going to be doing the best against and optimize across that. So that's one thing about like this target ACOS, is means it's going to optimize against all these competitors, and like which ones it's performing well against, it's going to be shoveling more spend into. That's why, you know, a tool like this will pay for itself over time, especially if your spend is getting higher. And, you know, hopefully at one point you can brag about spending $10,000 a month on advertising. There's some great brands that spend well more than that. This category is actually everything else. So everything else, we have a target ACOS of 20. This is what would not be branded or competitor. And then there's another campaign in there that was called the keyword boost. We think is important is to start ranking on top keywords. So this leash is very specific to like large dog harnesses, and it's a no-pull harness. It's escape proof. These things are what it does really well, and those also turn out to be like really competitive and top keywords. And so I can separate out just the top keywords that I want to like laser in on, and I can create my own budget and ACOS around them and a top of search multiplier. So if you want to go zero to hero on these keywords and just like, you know, pedal to the metal, this is what this is about. I think placing on these types of keywords is what's going to take your product from doing, you know, 10 sales a day to 100 sales a day. Like there is an outsized reward for getting placement on top keywords. So this allows you to do this and to, you know, to scale up and scale down. That's what this is. There are a few other features, as you will see in some of the advanced. You can manually add ASINs or keywords, and then there's a lot you can do. But here's what I love is when I like come in, see what's happening, and I leave the software, I feel like I was being an advertiser the entire time. I'm not meddling and like adding keywords in like awkward ways. Everything just scales, and I could see like the targets and how I'm doing on everything, and like my segments, like the ways that they divide out. This is just fun. And I can see right here again, I see over time, I've been at 41% on competitor, and then category. Like, let's see, and branded, unbranded. It's really kind of hitting everything that I want in this. And then I'm just repeat one other point is that this lets me change my opinion. I can turn one of these off. I can turn off branded spend. There's a great reason to do that. Sometimes people think this is wasted money. The ACOS is so low, I don't particularly see it as a huge waste. I can decide I don't want to go against competitors and just turn that off, but I keep this here. And then when I start using these other features, such as sponsored brands and display, they actually use keyword performance here to seed the other campaigns. So pretty awesome. I honestly, we spent a few months talking about how to create an ideal campaign structure. And then when I started using Perpetua and it does it for me, I was like, all right, here's the end game. I can name drop, like I know, like we use Takeometrics for like 18 months or so, and we still had to do all the campaign creation ourselves. And with all the brands that we manage, we just weren't keeping up with it. And we weren't putting the best campaign structure or the best effort into every single product type that we were managing. But now it's just like super easy because they do it for us. So they clearly have a lot of good minds put together. You can see that Perpetua is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. You don't need Perpetua to do this at all. But I've got a coupon code SMARTEST50 if you want 50% off. Comment if you got any questions, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to give you some more really good videos.